And welcome back, because the first month is coming to a close, and we're getting two conflicting stories in the single family and the condo market. One market, it's seeing market conditions improve for sellers, while the other is seeing those market conditions improve for buyers. Here's a crazy statistic that we're just going to chat about just a little bit later, but 71% of all licensed agents in the United States did not sell one house in 2024. Something tells me they were busy delivering a lot of Amazon packages and aren't exactly the real estate professionals that they make themselves out to be on social media. Who you work with matters. In this video, we're going to talk about the single family and condo markets in the state of Massachusetts. We're also going to do a quick interest rate update, and we're going to talk about some relevant current events. Hey, it's Jeff Chubb. I'm a recovering investment banker turned real estate agent. I've sold more than 1,000 houses. If you have any questions in regards to real estate, then no, I'm here to help. Let's jump into the single-family market stats. We now have 3,188 single-family homes on the market. Now, this is 3.7% fewer homes on the market than just 28 days ago. And I was a little surprised by the amount of how the inventory tightened week over week. But low inventory levels, they're to be expected until around the end of February. Inventory was down by 91 units week over week, but as you can see from this graph, the decline, it's to be expected, but we are getting very close to crossing the 2023 inventory levels. We currently have 188 more houses on the market, which is down from last week's 339 units than when compared to the same week last year, and 1,101 more houses on the market than when compared to the same levels in 2022. And this level is down from last week's 1,200 units. Now, we listed 624 single-family houses this week, and this is compared to 571 houses this week last year. This means that we were 53 units, or 9.3% higher than the levels that we saw back in 2024. And that 4-week rolling average, that's 431 units. This week, we put 681 single-family houses under agreement. Now, this is 54 units, or 7.4% less than the same week last year when we put 735 houses under agreement. That 4-week rolling average, that's 455 units. So when compared to last year's market, new listings, they were up by a little over 9%, while under agreements were down by 7.3%. And that is why we are seeing little inventory build when comparing to 2023 numbers. This pending new listing ratio made a decent jump this week. Now, the ratio of 117% is compared to 126% that we saw this week last year. What this means is that over 117% of all the properties that came on the market just 2 weeks ago, they went under agreement last week. There were 429 single-family houses that closed last week for an average sales price of $757,000. And a median sales price of $600,000. Now, sales levels compared to the same week last year, they were up by 45 units, or 11.7%, as there were 384 single-family houses that sold this week last year for an average sales price of $727,000. Months of inventory, this is something to determine what type of market we're in. 0 to 5 months, that's considered a seller's market, where the closer you get to 0, the stronger and more aggressive of a seller's market that it is. Now, this week, months of inventory came in at 1.19 months. The 1.19 months this week is compared to the 1.23 months this week last year. So the gap between this year and last year decreased to 0.04 months. 1 month down, and we can say that the 2024 and 2025 market conditions continue to be pretty similar, pretty alike. Now, real quick, it's my shameless plug. I just wanted to mention that if you are thinking about buying or selling a house, then it would be a true pleasure to help you. Now, on the condo market, we now have 2,120 condos on the market as of Monday. This means that there is 8.1% more inventory on the market today than the inventory levels of just 28 days ago. It's starting to get a little interesting with another week of inventory growth. We now have 340 more units on the market today than today last year, and 385 fewer condos on the market than compared to the same level in 2021. Last week's numbers were 305 units and 434 units, respectively. There are 407 condos that came on the market last week with that 4-week rolling average of 286 units. And the 407 units listed was 80 units, or 24.5% more than the 327 condos that came on the market this same week back in 2024. Under agreements had been a little of a bright spot for the condo market, but not this week. This week, we put 316 units under agreement. Now, the 316 condos is 19 units, or 5.7% less than 335 condos that we put under agreement this week last year. And that 4-week rolling average, that's 238 units. So 24.5% more listings came on the market when compared to this week last year, while selling 5.7% fewer condos. This week's pending new listing ratio increased a bit to 82.5%. This is compared to the 103.4% that we saw this time last year. Do you see why there's a bit of a problem in the condo market and why inventory is growing? For every 10 houses that are listed, only about 8 of them are going under agreement. There were 168 condos that sold this week for an average sales price of $640,000 and a median sales price of $563,000. This same week last year, there were 140 condos that sold with an average sales price of $700,000. So sales levels, they were up by 20%. Months of inventory jumped to 1.97 months from this week compared to the 1.83 months that we recorded last week. This week's number is compared to the 1.87 months of inventory levels that we saw this week last year. The year-over-year inventory level spread stayed steady at 0.1 months. Any chance you can do me a huge favor? Can you hit that like button right down there? Believe it or not, it just makes a huge difference to me and the channel as it just plays with that YouTube algorithm. While subscribing, that one doesn't hurt either. So if you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Time to talk about interest rates. It was an unchanged week for interest rates, and the reason why is the Fed decision tomorrow. I don't expect a rate cut, and neither does the market. What will matter are the comments from Jerome Powell that will come out on Thursday. Investors will also be glued to what is called the dot report from the other Fed members. Personally, I'm not betting on any rate cuts this year. I know the markets are pricing in 1 or 2 later in the year, but I just don't see it. I don't see the economy weakening and thereby them needing to decrease interest rates. That's just my opinion, but we'll see because time will tell. I just want to touch on that 71% of all real estate agents not selling a single house in 2024. I mean, it's an astounding statistic. In past down cycles, people would hang up the towel, but we're not seeing it this time around thanks to that gig economy. The professional that you choose matters. Choosing someone who didn't sell a single house, or let alone 1 or 2 last year, may be a wise choice. The first question you should ask is how well versed would that individual be on the market conditions? If you're watching this video, I'd actually bet dollars to donuts that you actually know more about the current market conditions than that professional. And it's generally the struggling agents that you will see make some questionable moves that really question where they stand ethically. You see, they put their needs and the need to get a paycheck over their clients' needs. Recently, I sold my own personal house. It was an investment property in East Boston. I had an agent demanding 3% commission at first. Then she came down to 2.5%. I told her that if she gets the number above asking price, then I'll give her the 2.5%. Otherwise, it's a 2% commission. What do you know? This starving agent got me the above asking price number and a non-bidding war. Then some inspection issues came up where they were asking for $5,000. I said, fine, but then I'm paying you 2% because you no longer got me the above asking price number. And what do you know? The buyer was no longer asking for that $5,000 in repairs. I can only imagine the emails, phone calls back and forth between that agent and the buyer. It's agents like that which give the industry an awful reputation. It's starving agents like that, which you need to be careful of. Seek out experience. It doesn't really cost you anything additional in the end. It will most likely actually end up saving you a bunch of money. Want to talk about your own personal real estate needs? Again, it's Jeff Chubb. Whether you're looking to buy or sell a house in the next 9 or 90 days, then I would love to chat with you and just find out a little bit more about your real estate goals. And if you know of anyone that's thinking about buying or selling, then I truly appreciate you passing along my contact information. You can visit me at YouTubeRealEstateAgent.com or find all my contact information in the description below, right down there. Until next time.